Have you ever dreamed of waking up somewhere quiet, really quiet, where the only sounds are birds overhead and the soft whisper of wind through the trees? Not a rush hour horn in sight, no concrete in every direction, just you, your tiny home or van, a mug of coffee warming your hands, and the feeling that finally you're exactly where you're meant to be. If you've ever craved a simpler life, one with fewer distractions and more meaning, you're not alone. Across the country, more people are trading big houses and busy cities for a slower, more intentional way of living, whether it's hitting the road in a van, building a tiny off-grid cabin, or finding land to call your own. This movement is about freedom, peace, and possibility. In this video, we're taking you on a tour of 10 of the best places in the US for van life, off-grid living, and tiny home dreams. These aren't just pretty locations, they're communities where people like you are actually making it work, where life feels full, even when space is small. So, if you've been feeling the urge to unplug, to explore, or just to breathe a little easier, stay with us. The perfect place for your next chapter might be closer than you think. And if something in this video speaks to you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone else who needs to know you don't have to live life the way everyone else is. Number 10, Bisbee, Arizona. Picture this. You're perched on the edge of a canyon, your tiny home nestled into the hillside like it's always belonged. The morning sun casts warm shadows over colorful rooftops and weathered stone paths. Down below, a sleepy town begins to stir, its shops full of handmade treasures, its streets humming with character. This is Bisbee, Arizona, tucked away in the Mule Mountains just a few miles from the Mexican border. Bisbee feels like a storybook town that time forgot. With a population of just under 5,000, it's small enough to know your neighbors, but alive with energy and soul. Here you won't find shiny skyscrapers or sprawling suburbs. What you will find are winding streets, 19th century architecture, and an eclectic mix of artists, retirees, van lifers, and free spirits. It's a place where no one blinks if you live out of a van or haul your groceries up a 100-year-old staircase. It's not just tolerated, it's embraced. Bisbee is also affordable. Compared to Arizona's pricier cities, homes here go for well under $200,000. And if you're bringing your home on wheels, there's an abundance of cheap land parcels just outside town, ideal for solar panels, rainwater collection, and wide open skies. The cost of living is refreshingly light. Property taxes are low, utilities are manageable, and for many here, life runs on sunlight and self-reliance. Jobs in Bisbee lean toward tourism, art, and remote work. Thanks to a strong creative economy and decent internet access, more people are working from anywhere and choosing here. Whether you're selling on Etsy, writing your novel, or fixing up vintage trailers, Bisbee welcomes the do-it-yourself spirit. The weather nearly perfect. Summers are hot but dry. Winters are cool with just enough chill to make you crave a wood-burning stove. And unlike much of the Southwest, Bisbee gets all 4 seasons, just enough to remind you time is passing, crime is low, people still wave when you walk past, and there's a quiet safety in knowing you're part of a place where people look out for each other. But what truly defines Bisbee is its soul. This town has history. Once a bustling mining hub, now reborn as an artist's refuge. Its walls are covered in murals, its bars echo with live music. There's a feeling here like every stone has a story. Like if you listen long enough, the hills will speak. Nature lovers find plenty to love. Hiking trails snake through the surrounding canyons. Bird watching is world-class. And at night, the stars explode overhead, in a sky untouched by city glare. Living off-grid here isn't just possible, it's natural. And then there's the Bisbee 1000. Every fall, the town hosts a stair-climbing race through its ancient footpaths and alleys. Locals dress in costumes, visitors cheer. It's ridiculous and wonderful, like everything here. Ask anyone who lives in Bisbee why they stay, and you'll get different answers. The quiet, the freedom, the people, the sky. But they all echo the same idea. There's nowhere quite like it. So if you're dreaming of a life that's part storybook, part art project, and completely your own, Bisbee might be calling your name. Number 9, Taos, New Mexico. Imagine stepping outside your off-grid Earthship home into the crisp morning air, the Sangre de Cristo Mountains glowing pink in the distance. The air is dry, clean, silent, except for the distant call of a raven and the crunch of dirt beneath your boots. You walk past adobe walls warmed by the sun, past sculptures made of recycled glass bottles and tires, and you realize nothing about this place is ordinary. And that's exactly why you're here. Welcome to Taos, New Mexico, a town where ancient traditions meet radical ideas and where off-the-grid living isn't just possible and it's celebrated. Taos is more than just a town. It's a feeling. Perched at 7,000 feet in the high desert, it has a population of around 6,000 people, but it hums with the presence of centuries. Pueblo culture, Spanish colonial roots, hippie communes, art legends. It's a spiritual crossroads that draws wanderers, artists, and truth seekers from all over the world. If you're dreaming of a self-sufficient life, Taos is a rare gem. Just outside the city lies the world-famous Earthship Biotecture community, a collection of homes built from recycled materials, powered by the sun and completely off the grid. Rainwater is harvested. Grey water is reused. Even food is grown indoors. It's not a concept here. It's a reality. Land in this area is still relatively affordable, especially in the surrounding desert. Many who move here live in vans, tiny homes, or DIY cabins. There's a strong community of builders, dreamers, and those who simply want to live with less and live more fully. The cost of living in Taos is reasonable. While housing in the town center can be pricey, off-grid properties just beyond the town limits are much more accessible. No HOA fees, no strict zoning laws, just dirt roads, big skies, and the freedom to build your life your way. Job-wise, Taos leans into tourism, art, and alternative industries. There's a thriving community of remote workers, crafters, yoga teachers, and permaculture enthusiasts. Many here live with intention and frugality, not to be poor, but to be free. The weather is a gift. Dry, sunny, and mild for most of the year. Winters bring snow to the mountains while the valley stays manageable. The skies are wide, the sunsets intense, and the stars utterly breathtaking. Taos is also known for its deep sense of culture and identity. Native American history is still alive at the Taos Pueblo, a UNESCO World Heritage Site that's been continuously inhabited for over 1,000 years. Art legends like Georgia O'Keeffe and Ansel Adams found inspiration here, and their creative legacy still lingers in the galleries and studios. Nature surrounds you in Taos. From the Rio Grande Gorge to Carson National Forest, you'll find hot springs, canyons, and alpine lakes waiting to be explored. Living here means waking up close to wildness, not just surviving, but thriving with it. And if there's one experience that defines Taos, it's the Earthship, standing barefoot on a recycled floor, sipping tea, brewed with rainwater, while the walls soak up solar warmth and a lemon tree grows behind you. It's the future, rooted in the earth, People who live in Taos say they came for the beauty but stayed for the feeling, the silence, the space, the permission to just be. If you've ever felt out of place in a world that moves too fast, Taos might be the place where you finally feel aligned with nature, with others, and with yourself. Number 8, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. The name alone feels like a challenge. Truth or Consequences, a town that dares you to live honestly, to strip life down to its essentials and see what's really there. You wake up in a small camper parked near the banks of the Rio Grande. Steam rises from the nearby hot springs. The desert air is cool and still. In the distance, rugged hills catch the first light of dawn. This isn't a place for distractions, it's a place for clarity, located in southern New Mexico, with just over 6,000 residents. Truth or Consequences, or T or C as the locals call it, is one of America's most curious little towns, quirky, healing, and deeply offbeat. It's a haven for vanlifers, off-grid enthusiasts, and anyone searching for peace over polish. The cost of living here is almost shockingly low. You can buy a modest home for under $150,000 or rent long-term spots for your van or tiny home at nearby RV parks for a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere. Land is cheap. Utilities are minimal. If you're self-sufficient, you can live here for less than you ever thought possible. Job opportunities are modest, but remote work is growing fast. There are also opportunities in wellness, tourism, and local agriculture. The town is dotted with small spas, artist co-ops, and health retreats, and the community is incredibly welcoming to newcomers looking to create something of their own. The weather is dry, sunny, and consistent. Hot summers, mild winters, no snow to shovel, no humidity to sweat through. Just that sweet, dry desert air and more sunshine than you'll know what to do with. But the heart of T or C is its hot springs, naturally heated, mineral-rich, and scattered throughout the town. They're not fancy, but they're magical. Locals take daily soaks. Travelers come to heal, and after one visit, many never leave. Nature lovers can explore Elephant Butte Lake just minutes away as a vast body of water, perfect for paddleboarding, kayaking, or simply watching the sunset in peace. There are also trails, mountains, and endless open space for off-grid living just beyond town. What makes Truth or Consequences unforgettable is the way it makes you feel. Unrushed, unbothered, unbound. People here live slow. They gather at local diners, share herbs at the farmer's market, and sit quietly beneath the stars. It's not glamorous, but it's real. If you're searching for a place to simplify, to let go of noise, and to reconnect with your body and your breath, then maybe it's time to choose truth over everything else. Number 7, Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Imagine walking down a winding mountain street lined with gingerbread cottages and old stone buildings, their balconies draped with ivy and hummingbirds flitting past like living jewels. The sound of rushing water echoes through the trees, and a cool breeze carries the scent of pine and fresh bread. You pass a hand-painted sign that reads, "Healing happens here, Aitare Mian," and somehow it doesn't feel like a promise. It feels like a fact. This is Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Tucked into the Ozark Mountains, this tiny Victorian town of around 2,000 people feels like it was carved straight out of a storybook and somehow never caught up with the outside world. And honestly, that's the charm. Eureka Springs is the kind of place where people come to start over, to slow down, to live outside the norm, whether you're in a converted bus, a hand-built cabin, or a tiny home hidden in the trees. This is a town that makes space for the dreamers, the healers, and the off-the-grid rebels. The lifestyle here is both romantic and real. The streets are too steep and narrow for stoplights. The buildings are hand-built into the mountainside, and the entire downtown is on the National Register of Historic Places. But even with all that old world charm, Eureka Springs is incredibly forward thinking, right? Especially when it comes to alternative living. The cost of living here is modest. Small homes and lots can be found for well under $200,000, and the surrounding areas offer even more flexibility. Off-grid land, RV sites, and wooded parcels ideal for tiny homes are scattered throughout the Ozarks. Utilities are reasonable, and many residents rely on rain catchment systems, solar panels, or wood stoves to minimize expenses and increase independence. Jobs in town lean toward tourism, wellness, and the arts, but it's also a hub for creatives, remote workers, and entrepreneurs. You'll find herbalists, tarot readers, musicians, bakers, vanlifers, and retirees all living side by side. If you have a skill or a service, this is a town where you can build a small, beautiful life. The weather here brings all four seasons. Spring is lush and green. Summer is hot but never harsh. Autumn turns the Ozarks into a blaze of color, and winters are mild with the occasional dusting of snow that makes everything feel even more magical. Eureka Springs is also incredibly safe and deeply accepting. It's known as one of the most LGBTQ-friendly towns in the South, a place where no one cares what you look like, who you love, or how you live. As long as you're kind, and the culture here, it's unlike anywhere else. There are parades for just about everything from the bizarre to the spiritual, ghost tours, art walks, folk music festivals, candlelit peace marches. It's a town that believes in beauty and community and in the power of living life on your own terms. Nature is everywhere. The town is nestled in a forested canyon, surrounded by trails, springs, caves, and rivers. Lake Leatherwood, with its peaceful shores and quiet hiking paths, is just a short drive away. If you crave solitude, it's right there. If you want connection, it's on the next porch over. And perhaps the most unforgettable experience in Eureka Springs is simply sitting on your porch at twilight. Few flies blink in the dusk. The scent of honeysuckle drifts through the air, and you realize you haven't checked your phone in hours. You haven't needed to. Ask the locals why they stay, and they'll smile a knowing smile. They'll tell you there's something in the water, something in the hills, something that calls you to stay. If your soul is searching for a place that honors history but embraces individuality, a place where nature and community live hand in hand, then Eureka Springs just might be the fairy tale ending you didn't know you were looking for. Number 6, Moab, Utah. Picture this. You wake up to the soft glow of red sandstone cliffs towering like ancient guardians over the desert floor. Your van door creaks open to a breeze that smells like juniper and earth. Silence hangs in the air, not empty, but sacred. And as the first light of morning cuts across the canyon, you feel something stir inside you, something free, wild, and beautifully awake. This is Moab, Utah, a town that doesn't whisper its power. It roars, nestled between Arches and Canyonlands National Parks. Moab is more than a destination. It's a pilgrimage for those who crave wild beauty and untethered living. With a population of just over 5,000, it's small in size but colossal in spirit. If you're searching for the ultimate off-grid or van life experience, Moab delivers in ways most places only dream of. It's a gateway to some of the most jaw-dropping landscapes in America: natural arches, crimson rock formations, winding rivers, and wide-open skies that swallow your thoughts whole. The lifestyle here is rugged, raw, and incredibly real. This is where minimalist living feels expansive, where your home might be a converted van, a desert yurt, or a solar-powered tiny cabin perched on the edge of forever. And it all fits because in Moab, no one's keeping score. They're just living. The cost of living in Moab varies. Tourist season rents can surge, but many long-timers avoid the center and settle in the outskirts or on public lands using BLM, Bureau of Land Management, access to park vans and campers legally for weeks at a time. Land outside town is still available, and some off-grid plots are surprisingly affordable, especially if you're willing to be creative. Jobs here are seasonal and outdoors focused, guiding tours, working in national parks, hospitality, bike shops, climbing companies. But remote work is on the rise, and those with location-independent income will find endless inspiration in the view alone. And the weather is classic high desert. Summers can be blistering hot, but nights cool off. Winters are crisp with light snow and icy stars. Spring and fall, absolutely perfect. And the air, dry, clean, infused with the scent of sage and heat, feels like it was made for deep breaths and deeper thoughts. Safety isn't just about crime stats here. It's about peace of mind, and Moab delivers that in spades. People are kind, the town is tight-knit, and there's a respect for the land that infuses daily life with reverence. Moab's culture is shaped by outdoor adventure, artistic grit, and a deep respect for nature. This is a place where strangers swap stories around desert campfires, where barefoot children chase lizards across slick rock, and where sun-bleached travelers find community among kindred spirits. And the nature, it's not just beautiful, it's transcendent. You'll hike through Martian canyons, kayak the Colorado River, mountain bike world-class trails, or simply sit still and feel the sun warming ancient stone beneath you. There's a spiritual quality to the land here. It humbles you, stretches you, and somehow heals you. One unforgettable local experience is watching the Milky Way rise over Dead Horse Point. The sky explodes in stars, the silence is profound, and for a moment, you feel like you've left Earth and entered something holier. People who choose to live in Moab often speak of the clarity they find. It's a place where clutter, physical, mental, emotional, gets stripped away by the wind, where life becomes elemental, and where every sunrise feels like a clean slate. If your spirit longs for open space, for wild freedom, and for nights that end with laughter around a fire instead of scrolling through noise, then Moab might be more than just a place. It might be your beginning. Number 5, Asheville, North Carolina. Picture this. You wake up to a fog-covered mountain valley, the mist rolling off the Blue Ridge Mountains and the scent of pine and fresh coffee greeting you as you step out of your tiny home. In the distance, you hear the hum of the river, and a warm sun begins to rise over the peaks. Asheville, North Carolina, feels like it's been waiting for you. It's a place where nature's beauty is woven into the rhythm of daily life, where creativity flows as freely as the French Broad River, and where the mountains hold you like an old friend. Nestled in the heart of the Blue Ridge Mountains, Asheville has become the go-to destination for those seeking a harmonious balance between vibrant city life and off-grid living. With a population of around 90,000, Asheville is big enough to offer amenities, culture, and opportunity, but small enough to retain its intimate mountain town charm. This is a place where the arts, the outdoors, and community spirit are all at the forefront. The lifestyle here is about connection to the land, to the people, and to the creative energy that runs through it all. Many in Asheville have embraced alternative living in the form of tiny homes, yurts, cabins, and even sustainable co-ops. The surrounding mountains offer the perfect backdrop for anyone looking to build an off-grid life or live in a more intentional, minimalist way and with easy access to hiking, biking, and a thriving local food scene, life here feels effortlessly fulfilling. Asheville's cost of living has climbed in recent years, but it remains more affordable than other major East Coast cities. The median home price is around $450,000, but that's for homes in the city itself. The surrounding area is home to more affordable land with plenty of properties perfect for off-grid living and tiny homes. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment in the city center averages around $1,300, but if you're open to more rural living, you can find much cheaper options. The job market is diverse, with strong industries in health and wellness, technology, education, and the arts. The craft beer scene has exploded here, with over 30 breweries calling Asheville home, making it a hotspot for anyone with a passion for brewing or the local food and beverage industry. Remote work is common, with many creatives and digital nomads choosing Asheville as their base. Asheville enjoys a temperate climate with four distinct seasons. Winters are mild with occasional snow, and summers are warm and inviting but never stifling. The surrounding mountain range offers plenty of opportunities for year-round outdoor activities, from hiking in the spring to skiing in the winter. It's a place that beckons you to step outside and embrace nature at every turn. Safety in Asheville is high, with a low crime rate and a generally welcoming atmosphere. The people here are kind, and you'll often find strangers striking up conversations with a smile. The city has a progressive, accepting vibe with a focus on sustainability, inclusivity, and community. Asheville's culture is as diverse as its landscape. It's home to a vibrant art scene with local galleries, live music, and outdoor festivals happening year-round. The Appalachian Mountains add a sense of history and spirituality to the town, with many locals connected to the land through ancestral ties or outdoor traditions. The culinary scene is equally exciting, with a focus on farm-to-table dining, craft beer, and locally sourced ingredients. Living in Asheville means embracing the outdoors. From the iconic Blue Ridge Parkway to the lush Pisgah National Forest, there's a natural wonder around every corner. Whether you're hiking the famous Appalachian Trail or paddling along the French Broad River, the possibilities are endless. One of the signature experiences in Asheville is a trip to the Biltmore Estate, America's largest privately owned home, set against the backdrop of the mountains. Though it's an attraction, it's also a reminder of Asheville's rich history and connection to the land. For those seeking balance, a life that combines creative expression, outdoor adventure, and a sense of community, Asheville offers the perfect canvas. People often find themselves breathing easier here, living slower, and reconnecting with what truly matters. If you're dreaming of a life where the mountains are your backyard, where creativity thrives, and where the rhythm of life matches the heartbeat of nature, then Asheville might just be the place to call home. Number 4, Bend, Oregon. Imagine unzipping your tent or stepping out of your tiny home onto a high desert meadow kissed with golden morning light. Snow-capped peaks rise in the distance. The smell of sagebrush and pine drifts on the wind. In the stillness, you hear the soft murmur of the Deschutes River, and you feel it. A quiet knowing that you've landed somewhere rare, somewhere free. This is Bend, Oregon, a place where mountain dreams meet modern comfort, where you can disappear into the wilderness or bike downtown for wood-fired pizza and a local craft brew, a place built for those who crave both solitude and connection, wildness and warmth. Tucked in central Oregon, with a population nearing 100,000, Bend has transformed from a sleepy logging town into one of the most beloved havens for off-grid adventurers, vanlifers, and tiny home dwellers. And it's easy to see why. Bend has space and soul. Whether you're nestled in a converted airstream on the outskirts of town, parked along Forest Service roads, or living in a solar-powered cabin with floor-to-ceiling views, you're never far from nature, but you're also never far from civilization. That balance is part of Bend's magic. Now, let's talk cost of living. Bend isn't the cheapest on this list. Median home prices hover around $675,000, reflecting its growing popularity. Rent in the city center averages $1,800 for a one-bedroom, but for the van life and off-grid crowd, there are creative options. Many locals live just outside town, tapping into public lands for parking or building tiny homes on leased or purchased land. With the right setup, you can dramatically reduce expenses and live in alignment with the land. Bend's economy is strong. Once centered on timber, it's now driven by outdoor recreation, tech startups, hospitality, and a steady stream of remote workers and entrepreneurs. The city has become a magnet for creatives, wellness practitioners, and people who design their own work-life rhythm. The average income is solid, and opportunity comes with flexibility, especially if your job travels with you. The weather here is a high desert dream. Bend enjoys over 300 days of sunshine a year. Summers are warm and dry. Winters bring snow and the occasional bluebird powder day. But it's not the harsh, biting cold you might expect. It's the kind that invites you to sip cocoa by a wood stove or strap on snowshoes at sunrise. Crime rates in Bend are low. The town feels safe, both in the city and in the wild places around it. People look out for each other, and whether you're in a campground, a co-op village, or parked beside a trailhead, there's a sense of respect and care woven into the culture, and that culture, it's rooted in outdoor living and self-expression. In Bend, trail runners and artists, yoga teachers and rock climbers, digital nomads and local brewers all share space and stories. It's a place that values mindfulness, movement, and mountain air. Nature here isn't just something you visit, it's something you live in. There's world-class hiking, rock climbing at Smith Rock, kayaking, snowboarding at Mount Bachelor, stargazing, mountain biking, wildflower walks, and everything in between. It's an open invitation to reconnect with what makes you feel alive. One of the signature experiences of Bend is floating the Deschutes River on a warm summer day. You'll see locals and travelers alike drifting past pine-lined shores, beers in hand, laughter echoing through the canyon. It's simple, pure, joyful, and somehow deeply grounding. Ask anyone why they moved to Bend, and the stories may vary, but the feeling is the same. It's about quality of life, about waking up every day with purpose, presence, and peace. If your ideal life includes clean air, endless trails, creative freedom, and a community that celebrates living simply but fully, Bend, Oregon might just be calling your name. Number 3, Taos, New Mexico. Close your eyes and breathe in deeply. The air here feels different, thinner, drier, ancient. You step out of your adobe-style tiny home as the first light spills over the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. The sky stretches endlessly above you, a canvas of soft peach and gold. In the distance, the chime of wind bells echoes through the desert air. This is Taos, and if there's a place where time slows down to let your soul catch up, it's here. Taos, New Mexico isn't just a town, it's a pulse, an energy, a meeting place of rugged nature, rich culture, and deep spiritual resonance. With a population of around 6,500, it's small, intimate, and layered with stories, indigenous, artistic, mystical. Located in the high desert of northern New Mexico, Taos is a magnet for wanderers, artists, healers, and those looking to live life outside the grid. It's a place where people don't just visit nature, they live within it, where off-grid solar homes, earthships, and tiny homes blend into the very contours of the land. Living in Taos feels like living in rhythm with the sun, with the stars, with the earth beneath your feet. Whether you park your van along the Rio Grande Gorge or settle into a hand-built home in the Mesa lands, you're part of something bigger here. When it comes to cost of living, Taos offers options. The median home price is around $400,000, but it fluctuates wildly depending on the location and structure. Many who live off-grid here do so by design, creating low-cost, sustainable living through innovation and independence. Rent in town averages $1,100 for a one-bedroom, but for vanlifers or those seeking rural land, there are far more affordable paths. Taos's economy is modest but sustainable. Tourism, arts, agriculture, and wellness are key industries. Many here are self-employed. Potters, painters, yoga instructors, retreat hosts. The town's energy draws those who live by inspiration more than tradition, and remote workers are increasingly finding ways to thrive here while soaking in the silence and stillness. Weather in Taos is high desert, sunny, dry, and striking. Summers are warm but rarely oppressive. Winters can bring snow, especially in the mountains, but the dryness makes even cold days feel clean and clear. The sun is a near constant companion, making off-grid solar living not just viable but ideal. Safety in Taos is more spiritual than statistical. Yes, crime rates are low, but more than that, there's a palpable sense of calm, of reverence, of people coexisting with the land and each other in quiet respect. It's a place where you can let your guard down and let your heart open. The culture here is unlike anywhere else in America. Taos Pueblo, a living Native American community and UNESCO World Heritage Site, has stood for over 1,000 years. That deep-rooted history permeates the air. So does the legacy of artists like Georgia O'Keeffe and D.H. Lawrence, who found in Taos the kind of inspiration that comes only from silence and space. And nature, it's raw, sweeping, and filled with contrast. The Rio Grande Gorge cuts through the land like a sacred wound. The Sangre de Cristo mountains rise sharply into the sky. There are hot springs, pine forests, wild desert mesas, and ski slopes, all within reach. It's a landscape that shapes you, challenges you, and restores you all at once. One unforgettable local experience is visiting the Earthship Biotecture community just outside town, a neighborhood of off-grid homes built entirely from recycled materials powered by the sun and shaped like art. It's not just architecture, it's philosophy made real, and it leaves you forever changed. Those who move to Taos don't usually do so for convenience. They come for meaning, for stillness, for the freedom to strip life down to its essence and build something intentional from the ground up. If your heart beats a little faster at the thought of mountain mornings, adobe sunsets, and a life that flows instead of rushes, Taos might just be your kind of paradise. Number 2, Homer, Alaska. Imagine this. You step out of your tiny cabin onto a wooden deck, the salty scent of the ocean filling the air. To the left, you see the jagged peaks of the Kenai Mountains, their snow-covered tips catching the first rays of morning light. To the right, the vast expanse of Kachemak Bay stretches out before you, shimmering under a sky so big it feels like the world is endless. A lone eagle soars overhead, and the sound of the waves gently lapping against the shore reaches your ears. This is Homer, Alaska, a place where nature isn't just a backdrop. It's a living, breathing presence. And for those who seek it, it's the ultimate escape. Homer, with a population of around 5,500, is perched on the edge of the world. And it's easy to see why people are drawn to this remote slice of paradise. Located on the southern tip of the Kenai Peninsula, Homer feels like it's at the end of the earth. And for those who are lucky enough to call it home, it's a place where wildness, freedom, and beauty converge in a way that is truly unique. The lifestyle in Homer is as rugged and untamed as the land itself. It's a community built on a deep connection to the natural world. Here, you'll find fishermen, adventurers, artists, and those seeking solace in the quiet vastness of Alaska. Many choose off-grid living in cabins, tiny homes, or RVs, while others live in converted boats or structures built from locally sourced materials. If you want to live close to nature and in a way that feels authentic and deeply fulfilling, Homer is one of the few places that offers it all. When it comes to cost of living, Homer can be both expensive and surprisingly affordable depending on how you choose to live. The median home price is around $350,000, but land can be found for much less, especially if you're looking to build off the grid. Rent is higher than average, with one-bedroom apartments averaging around $1,300, but for those living in tiny homes or cabins, the cost of living can be dramatically reduced by relying on solar power, rainwater collection, and homegrown food. The job market in Homer is centered around fishing, tourism, and remote work. There are also a growing number of artisans, writers, and photographers who have found a niche in this breathtaking environment. Homer is a place where you're more likely to build your own business or pursue an independent project than work in a traditional 9-to-5 job. The average income is modest, but many residents live frugally and find that they don't need much to feel truly rich. Weather in Homer is mild by Alaskan standards, but it's still unpredictable. Winters are cold with occasional snow, but the Gulf of Alaska helps moderate temperatures, making it less harsh than other parts of the state. Summers are short but spectacular, with nearly endless daylight and temperatures that hover around 60 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The weather is a big part of what makes living here feel so wild. Every day is a new adventure. Safety in Homer is not just about crime rates, it's about the respect for nature. The Alaskan wilderness demands a certain amount of humility. People here take care of one another, and there's a strong sense of community. The challenges of living in such a remote place bring people together, and in a town like Homer, that's more valuable than anything else. The culture in Homer is as diverse as the landscape. It's a melting pot of fishermen, artists, and outdoor enthusiasts, all united by their love of the land. The art scene is thriving with galleries, music festivals, and theater performances year-round. There's a deep appreciation for the environment, and the town has a strong focus on sustainability. The people here are independent, resilient, and connected to the rhythms of nature. It's a place where creativity is nurtured, where the ocean is always in view, and where every conversation feels like it carries the weight of the wilderness. Nature in Homer is quite simply overwhelming. There's the rugged coastline, the towering mountains, the quiet coves, and the wide open sky. There's fishing on Kachemak Bay, hiking through Kachemak Bay State Park, and kayaking with sea otters. If you're a fan of wildlife, you'll find an abundance of it here: bears, whales, eagles, salmon, and more. Homer feels like it's teeming with life at every corner. A signature experience in Homer is a boat ride out to the stunning Kachemak Bay. You might catch a glimpse of a humpback whale breaching the surface, or see a sea otter floating lazily in the sun. It's a reminder that in Homer, the world doesn't just revolve around humans. It's a place where nature is always the main character. People who move to Homer do so because they crave more than just a house. They're looking for a life that's full of wildness, solitude, and beauty. If you dream of waking up to the sound of waves and the sight of snow-capped mountains, if you long to live in harmony with the land and the seasons, then Homer, Alaska might just be the place to begin your next chapter. Number 1, Cedar City, Utah. Imagine this. You wake up in your tiny home surrounded by towering red cliffs, the first rays of the sun painting the rocks in hues of orange and gold. You step outside, greeted by the cool mountain air and the expansive silence of the desert. The sound of the breeze rustling through the pines is the only noise that fills the space. In the distance, you see the peaks of the Great Basin stretching endlessly into the horizon. Cedar City, Utah, is a place that feels like a dream, a place that invites you to slow down, breathe deeply, and reconnect with both nature and yourself. Cedar City, often called the gateway to the national parks, where it sits nestled between the vast desert landscapes of southwestern Utah. With a population of around 35,000, it's a small city with big heart, offering all the charm of a tight-knit community, but with access to some of the most stunning natural beauty in the world. From the striking red rock formations to the towering pines of nearby Cedar Mountain, Cedar City is the perfect blend of rugged beauty and warm, welcoming community. Living in Cedar City is about finding peace in simplicity. The city's off-grid living scene is thriving, with many residents opting for tiny homes, RVs, or homesteads tucked away in the desert or forests nearby. It's a place where you can park your van along a quiet dirt road, build a small cabin from local materials, or settle into a more traditional home that still feels deeply connected to the land. Cost of living in Cedar City is one of its most appealing qualities. The median home price is around $340,000, making it far more affordable than many other cities in Utah. Rent is also reasonable, with one-bedroom apartments averaging around $900 in the city center. For those looking to live off-grid or in a tiny home, the costs can be even lower as land is relatively inexpensive compared to other areas in the state. Many off-griders have found parcels of land for under $100,000, giving them the space to create their dream home with minimal costs. The economy in Cedar City is diverse, with strong sectors in tourism, agriculture, and education. The town is home to Southern Utah University, which brings a youthful energy and a sense of vibrancy to the area, with a rising number of remote workers choosing Cedar City as their base. There's a growing entrepreneurial spirit, with small businesses, artisans, and makers finding their place in the town's creative landscape. Jobs in tourism, hospitality, and education are common, though many people who choose Cedar City also do so because they want the freedom to create their own work, whether that's through remote jobs or crafting their own businesses. Cedar City's weather is as varied as its landscape. The summers are hot, with temperatures often reaching into the 90s, but the evenings cool down beautifully. The winters can bring snow, especially in the higher elevations, but it's never overwhelming. Spring and fall are nothing short of spectacular, with mild temperatures and clear skies. Whether you enjoy long summer days or crisp winter nights, the climate here offers the best of both worlds. Safety in Cedar City is high, with a low crime rate and a strong sense of community. People here are friendly, kind, and always willing to lend a hand. It's a place where you can leave your doors unlocked and trust that your neighbors will keep an eye out for one another. The small town atmosphere is one of the key reasons why people move to Cedar City. They're seeking connection, peace, and a lifestyle that isn't defined by the hustle and bustle of larger cities. Cedar City's culture is shaped by its proximity to some of the most beautiful national parks in the country. It's an outdoorsy town where hiking, mountain biking, rock climbing, and exploring the nearby parks are an everyday part of life. There's a rich arts community here as well, with theater performances, local galleries, and the renowned Utah Shakespeare Festival drawing visitors from across the country. This blend of nature and culture creates a unique vibe where creativity and adventure are equally at home. Nature in Cedar City is simply breathtaking. Just outside town, you'll find Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon, and the stunning Red Cliffs Desert Reserve. Cedar City is a gateway to some of the most famous landscapes in America. Sweeping canyons, towering rock formations, and wide-open desert skies. It's a place where you can go from the red rocks of Zion to the alpine forests of Cedar Mountain in just a short drive. The abundance of public lands surrounding the city offers endless opportunities for outdoor adventures. One signature local experience is exploring the slot canyons in the nearby Red Cliffs Desert Reserve. These narrow, winding passages carved into the rock are an adventure in themselves, an intimate, sometimes eerie journey through nature's architecture. It's a reminder of how the land here has shaped itself over millennia, and how it continues to shape those who choose to live here, for those who long to be close to nature, to live simply, and to find peace in a slower pace of life. Cedar City offers something rare, a place where you can be free but also be deeply rooted. It's a place where you can hear yourself think, where the world feels big and small all at once, and where the mountains, the sky, and the earth remind you what really matters. If you're ready to trade the noise of the world for the silence of the desert, the warmth of a community that feels like family, and the beauty of some of the world's most awe-inspiring landscapes, Cedar City, Utah, might just be your perfect place to call home. As we've journeyed through these 10 perfect places for van life, off-the-grid living, and tiny homes, we've explored destinations that offer more than just a place to live. They offer a lifestyle, a way of living that aligns with the rhythms of nature, the beauty of simplicity, and the joy of creating something truly your own. Which of these places spoke to your heart? Was it the desert of Moab, the mountains of Bend, or the wild beauty of Homer? Maybe it was the serene landscapes of Cedar City or the artistic spirit of Taos. Wherever you choose to lay your roots, remember that the journey to living authentically begins with the courage to imagine a life that's truly yours. Let us know in the comments which city you would choose to call home, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel inspiration. Next week, we'll explore another set of dream destinations for your next big adventure. Stay tuned